So, welcome everyone to our web series. This is the second such event we are doing in the near future. We had one session by Amir Pellet, I think on 26th of Feb, which was about breaking free. Now, this is an event with the title "What Coaching Means in the Context of Agile Teams." We have with us an amazing person, Rachel, and an amazing speaker. I happened to attend her session very recently. That was, I think, in January as part of Regional Scrum Gathering. And let me be very honest with you, Rachel, yours was one of the few sessions which I attended fully. I was there till the end. So it was really great, especially I could feel so well connected with the content that you have. So I'm sure there will be a lot of takeaway for everyone who has taken time to join this session. So I'm going to spotlight you as I give you introduction. Is that okay, Rachel?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I'm going to spotlight so that, yeah, now you are on the big screen. You can say hello.
Well,
Okay, so yeah, welcome, Rachel. Now I am formally welcoming you. Thank you on behalf of everyone else for finding this time. Rachel is currently based in UK, London. She is a certified team coach from Scrum Alliance, ICF-PCC. Am I right?
yes,
From
correct.
ICF, so International Coach Federation. She is also a professional certified coach. From Scrum Alliance point of view, she is a path to CSP educator and also CAL educator, if I'm correct, right?
Yes, you are.
Yes. And currently, Rachel is working at GPMC, coaching everybody there, teams, leadership, and yeah, I know. I mean, there is a lot about Rachel. She likes to contribute to the community. That is one of the best things. Passionately wanting to contribute all the time. And now, Rachel, on behalf of everybody here, warm welcome. And can you all please give a round of applause to Rachel? And she should be able to hear the claps. If you can all do that together, one, two, and three.
You.
So I
Thank you
hope I have
so
not
much.
missed anything, Rachel. If I have, please add it, and it's up to you now.
Uh, Now you will gonna thank you all for coming, first of all. And it's a pleasure to be here. And I was always the the community, the Agile community in India was always so warm welcome to me. That is a pleasure to be back and now in a more wide space as well. So you know a lot about my credentials, but where they come from. And this Agile coaching is my passion. And this is exactly what I'm here to share. Sharing that, uh, I shared in the chat a link for a Miro board. So the Miro board doesn't have much, but you during this chat I will tell you a bit about my own experience becoming an agile coach. And through that experience, I hope I can help you to understand the difference between what is professional coaching, what is agile coaching, what is team coaching, enterprise. So all of these things that live in our daily lives, and sometimes we don't know exactly what is the meaning of each one of these things. So I hope that my journey will help you to it will help you all to actually understand why not I have the credentials just because I have the credentials, but what was the meaning behind them, and why I do what I do. And I do hope that if my experience can help someone, please feel free to reach out and I will be more than happy to answer you back. Um, so, if you want to stop me at any point in time or pop a question in the chat, if you are in the Miro board, you can actually on the bottom of the Miro board, you see I drag you all to me. You have like topics for discussion. If you have questions, you can actually pop them in here. And in the end, we go through it. If you think that will lose meaning, please feel free to raise your hand on, because will be the best way for me to see you. And I know that Vinit will help me with, if someone has a question in the middle, feel free to interrupt. Okay. So let's start.
Yeah, so can we do a quick test of Miro, everybody? The link has been shared once again. Those who are here, can you click on that link, open the board,
I have
and
36 people in, so I do believe this is going
Could
to
you
be
yeah,
good.
possibly just share it one more time? I've just joined on my laptop,
yes.
as it's easier as I'm here through my phone on the.
Here you have it.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And Rachel, do you want me to
Okay.
share and show them the section where they can add their questions also, just in case?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, okay.
So there is the Miro 101 stuff. So you don't need to do much in Miro. One of the things that is going to happen, you can see my Miro board, right?
Yep.
Is as I'm going through the board, so I would see your faces because I removed the spotlight. I'm seeing the full grid of everybody. You see the spotlight, but I really like to see faces. So we will see happening is when I'm talking about something, I will bring you all to me and you will see what I'm seeing on my screen. Okay, so that will help you to follow along. As one of the things that I learned a couple of months ago is a story is never a linear track. So if you keep following me, I will bring you to what is in this board. So on the top, you see a life, my agile journey in pictures. And I will give some insights on that as we go, because there are funny things in there. And down here on the coaching mindset, there is on this, the second line, you will actually see some definition, some stuff that I'm going to talk through as I walk through my journey. Okay?
Okay.
If you have a question and you want to pop it here, there is this little square here. You can pick up, done. Then you just type in whatever question you have. Okay? So if you want to do it in there, just do it. And then in the end, we can go through them. Okay? Are we all good for Miro? So I'm going to stop sharing so I can see all your pretty faces. So you can see here, if you lose me, meanwhile, on the top of your screen, you have my picture as the owner. So just click on my picture, you come right to where I am. Because I know people like to wander around in the boards, which is good. We are agile people, we are explorers. So in 2012, my journey started with like this little guy here. What you want me to? So the management on my firm changed and I was a front-end developer. And actually in small firms, what usually happens, you are a front-end developer, you do mockups, you do everything, you connect with clients. So I had like a more people's work than actually I did front-end and I kind of doing all the backwards and forwards. So this new manager come to the firm and told, oh, we are going agile. And Raquel, I think you have the skills to be a good Scrum Master. And I was like, to be a good what? I never heard the word before. So to be a good what? And he told me, look, the best thing for you, I'm not going to explain you what a Scrum Master does. And I was like, that is not starting well. So there is more Scrum Masters in the world. Go Google it. Go find your meaning on the Scrum Master. And that's exactly what I did. So I read some books. I joined communities, and that started my passion for community. I joined some communities and was a really good insight to have from the communities about I found so many good people around the world that have a passion for coaching, a passion for Scrum Mastering. And I was like, yeah, this seems like really nice, good people. And they actually helped me through to my start. So I started with one team. And as I think some of you that work through the journey, when we start with one team and you are a brand new Scrum Master, you are all about process. Oh, you need to do the daily, you need to do the retrospective, and you go Google it, you find some nice retrospective template and you use it. And it's like, yay, I'm rocking at it. And then my team was doing okay-ish, a bit better than the others. So my manager decided it was time to give me a new challenge. So I want you to help other teams to do the same. And I was like, this is getting worse now. So it chose two other people from other teams in the company, and I started to help them to be Scrum Masters. So I start to feel a little bit short of everything uh, because there are my team was quite easy. I have a very good relationship with them. The other ones would start to get difficult. So once more, I reached out to the community and said, "Look, I have this challenge. I don't know what to do." And the response on the community was great. I found my first mentor by then. So on here, you can see exactly one of my first workshops with Lego. So the community, I had some good friends that teach me how to do workshops with Lego. So I learned more than just the process of Scrum. I was starting to learn how to train people, how to help people to understand how Scrum could help them. And moving from there, so then I moved up to a PO role, which was not fulfilling, I must tell you, but I did learn my lessons. After that, I start to deeply respect every product owner in my life, because a good product owner really makes a difference. So today, even in my company, I dedicate a big part of my time helping product owners to be the best they can, because life in teams becomes more easy, and we will pick that ahead again. So after this, I moved to another. So we kind of made it work in a nice way. So I move out of my team. I help the others. I start to work more on the product side. And after that, actually, I move for another company. Another company, different challenges. And the different challenges were about leadership and coaching. And I never heard about that before. So I attended to one meetup long time ago where someone gave me the first basics about coaching in agile space. And I learned that many of this is kind of this where I am now is kind of a wrap up about what it bring to me on that day, about what was Scrum as the Scrum values, what was Agile, the Agile values and principles, and how was that linking with coaching. So you see, human beings, curiosity, funebrial, oh God, it happened again. I stuck with this person, this word, transparency, trust, focus, courage, honesty. And I was like, yeah, coaching is all relation with the work I do. So, as I was starting to work with the team and a bit of management more, my knowledge starting to get shorter. And I was feeling that the challenge was too big for me. So, what I decided at the time was taking Scrum Alliance certified agile leadership. It was very good for me because I learned about concepts better. I learned there was a lot of things about leadership and about agile that I didn't know, and that related to coaching. So this was how I get to coaching. So in my journey to become a CTC, I actually become a professional coach. And we will talk a bit now about actually what coaching means and what is coaching. So we can start with what is professional coaching. And this, I think if you heard me in the beginning, I was very process driven when I started. And why coaching bring these lights to my life? This is the ICF definition of coaching. Coaching
Rachel,
as is,
yeah, this is
yes,
Vinith here. So, just a quick feedback that we can take from everyone. Are you all following Rachel on the Miro, or do you prefer the screen being shared?
I see all many,
I'm
many.
following on Miro.
Okay. Is this
So
better
I
if
see.
Rachel shares the screen?
Do you prefer me to share? I don't mind.
Please,
Share, I
please
like
share.
it.
Please share the
Share,
screen.
that will
Better
help.
to share
Yes.
screen.
Okay.
Yep, please share.
So
Probably
I will
just
go.
remove all those markers. Yeah.
Yeah, gone.
Otherwise, I get confused.
I get travel sickness.
Me too.
Okay, I think this is better, Rachel. As you speak, we all have the same view.
Yeah,
And
sure.
yeah, okay, thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Vinit, for your feedback. So, continuing, professional coaching and why this definition of professional coaching actually bring the difference is partnering with clients to thought-provoking and creative process. And I was like, yeah, this is what I do for a living. I challenge people every day on their beliefs. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why is this like this? So this was actually resonated with my work. And many times in my life, I saw development teams and people that actually do the magic being treated as they were not smart enough to take decisions. And that, when I saw this actually, is like we believe in coaching that people are whole, resourceful, and they can make their own decisions. And I was like, this is exactly what I want for my teams and for the people I work with. So here I go. So I started to learn about coaching and start to progressing about coaching. So here, this is my community involvement. And this, the gathering was on, I get my first official mentor towards my CSP. At the time, there was no CSPSM, CSPPO, so it was my CSP certification. And as you know, I always am a volunteer, so I'm there in the middle of the red shirts as a volunteer. And these are some of my, there are more than that, these ones, hours and hours and hours of coaching practice to actually be good in coaching techniques, professional coaching techniques. So we will get back up there. When when I start to learn about coaching, agile coaching, how does this two come together? So it's pretty much the same thing, but we have agile knowledge and we are agile experts. So it's partnering with individuals, teams, and leaders at the different levels of the organization, leveraging agile expertise with professional coaching skills. And I found my job description. It's what I love to do. So, agile coaching, when we are coaches, agile coaches, we have, and this is the agile coaching competency framework, we have many things in there. So we have on the right hand side is more professional coaching and facilitating, is the knowledge is on the side of our clients. So they are the knowledge. We are there to facilitate the process of learning of the process, or the, in case of professional coaching, in case of facilitation, we are there to facilitate the process so the group can get their best outcomes. And there is also the component of teaching and mentoring. So as an agile coach, I actually do some teaching in my work, and I do mentoring. Why? Because as I teach new teams and I teach some people in the organization, what happens is they will not have all that growth by themselves. So teach them, let them know there is other ways to do it, help them with coaching to establish bigger goals, facilitating their own decisions, and mentoring them through their journey. Then we have the agile expertise, and I'm on the side of transformation because I do like transformational coaching. Does everybody knows the difference between transformational and transactional? No, not everybody knows. So
No.
transformational is changing behaviors, changing mindsets, and helping people to grow steady on the journey on themselves or on their organizations. Transactional is we exchange data and when happen, what we want to happen, and we don't actually create insights. We don't help people to think about root causes. What is their behaviors? And many times we find that we need to model the behavior we want to see in others, because the only behavior you can change is your own and your team's, and you can influence that. So this is a bit a description about the agile coaching role. So, and here you will gonna hear a bit about the difference. So we already know what is professional coaching. And I do professional coaching as it stands, sometimes one-to-ones with, sometimes for charities, people that cannot afford, since I don't do professional coaching for a living and I need to keep my practice. So that's where I practice. What I do for a living is agile coaching. So, and what are the levels? So we heard about enterprise coach, team coach. What are the differences? So when usually, and this is a bit my journey, was I started with a team, and then that extended as I moved my career forward to multi-teams. So I could actually work with my Scrum Master skills, my facilitation skills, and my professional coaching skills that keep growing. And of course, my mistakes keep growing and my learning keep growing with them. Okay, this is not all the perfect journey, uh, because we are change agents. So as change, we are exploring paths. Sometimes is needed. We need to learn our own lessons. So when we start with teams, what happened? We have team coaching. We teach the teams, we'll help them to grow, we'll help them to improve the process, to inspect and adapt, being Scrum, being Kanban, being whatever process they use, okay? But that is the journey, is what we do. Help them to be a better version of themselves. As if there is a time when you are working with teams where you reach your ceiling, there is the management there. And there is new skill sets that you need to know. Because coaching a team is not the same thing as coaching someone else in the organization, like product teams, sometimes marketing, sometimes other teams around, and special their managers, because they are the connect points many times in the teams, because there is not this openness where people can talk each other. So you need to actually learn a bit more about coaching, organizational traits, learning more about.
There is a feedback coming from your mic.
I found it and I muted.
Okay.
Sorry for that. I was seeing the highlight in another window. Uh, so what happens is when you go on this level, you start to get a more holistic area, and you start to learn that communication is very poor between the layers, and the mindset, the lack of trust is difficult, even difficult to build. So coaching skills need to be more refined. Your knowledge about systemic coaching and organizational and about how organization works needs to increase, because now you are not dealing with these small systems as teams. You grow your action for maybe a department, and that require a new set of skills, because with process only we will not go there. Believe me, I tried, I failed. So I did learn that one of the things, and this is why the community for me is so important, because most of my help came actually from the Agile community, and from people that I met in meetups like this or in person, from gatherings, Agile conferences, when you meet loads of people that actually have the same problems you have. And some of them already solve it in a different way, and they can sometimes advise you or actually help you to see things from another lenses. And this is one of my big passions, is the community, exactly because of that. Keeping this community alive will help a lot of us to succeed. And then when you move from this level of department to a more broader level, is as higher as you are, as the troubles get bigger. So it's often you find that leadership teams are not teams. They are competing each other for their own goods. And the first thing that we need to find in there is many times, and that was one of the things that for me was very important, was systemic coaching training. Understanding how systems work. Coaching alignment is very important.
We cannot
Special.
hear you. Somebody else is speaking and we cannot hear you. Somebody has to mute their phone.
Yeah, is already muted.
Good, thanks.
Okay, thank you for that. So when you reach this level and you get a senior leadership team that you are working with, the first step many times is make them a team. Because they are not a team. They have their little farms and they compete against each other, and not for the greater good. But it's not because they are bad people, nothing like that. It's because they don't know better. In the evolution of management, there was this command and control, and each man from himself. And remember, most of the people that are now in top management roles, they are from a previous generation. And they come from this kind of management. And it's not that they are good people. And sometimes one of the things I find is people look, oh, there's no coming back for them. No, there are coming back, because they all want one thing. They want the greater good of their jobs. Because many of them, the fear of losing that position is what make them go and, as we say, play the cards like this. So they play poker with the cards on their nose, not sharing. because they are just afraid. They never learn to work as a team. It's each man for themselves. Bringing, and this, when I see this, and this is when you get to this enterprise coaching level, you are not working with teams anymore. You are helping the organization to set a vision. And one of the things that led me to actually be a CAL trainer was exactly that, because I had the opportunity and I need to do that learning by myself to actually be able, and I'm on the path to be a certified enterprise coach. So I need to do that learning, learn more about executive coaching, alignment coaching, learn more about organizations, the way they work, and how to bring people together. So these are, in, I think, simple words, the difference between what you do as a Scrum Master or what you do as an Agile coach. And this is a bit of my journey, because uh, as my teams start to get better, and you know that our biggest, how can I say, our biggest dream as a Scrum Master is become ourselves expandable. Our team doesn't need us anymore, so we can move on. So I kind of did that and put myself out of my job. So I find new teams, new challenges, and this growth. Sometimes when I'm working as an agile coach, where I did find my ceiling there is when I was trying to do some changes across more than just this, and I hit my ceiling. So all my learning that I'm trying to do is exactly to be more effective on my work, because it's not I do the learning and I know the theory, then I can gracefully thank some of my colleagues that actually helping me by sharing their own experience on the field, letting me learn from them. So, but this is actually the difference, and the difference in the skill sets. So if you are talking about team coaching, you are talking about a type of skill sets. If you are talking about enterprise coaching, is not one is higher than the others, it's just a different skill set. Okay, because being a scrum master is not a poorer position than being an enterprise coach, because there are people that are excellent enterprise coaches, they never were a scrum master before. So because they have different background stories, and this is my background, this is how I found my needs, and I try to live to my new challenges ahead. um, so this is one of the things, and then I can bring you up to my story again. So as you see, the Agile community is pretty much on it. So this was me in Dublin 2017. As you see, I'm here with a bunch of crazy people. You probably can recognize some of them, but the being part of volunteers team in a Scrum gathering, let me tell you, is one of the best experiences of my life. And so this is a very famous picture that someone took from me and posted on LinkedIn. So we all agree on the next day, there was this day of Halloween, that we do face painting, and we all will go with our pumpkin t-shirts with face painting. You know what? Only I had face painting from the volunteers team, and a few people from the Scrum Alliance team. So, of course, everybody, I thought no one will remember my face after that, but even today, some of the people that were in Dublin, oh, lady with the cat face. Okay, that will live with me for the rest of my life. Uh, and this was the coaches retreat in London 2018. So coaches retreat actually is excellent network. Coaching's retreat, coaching camp. As I'm living more on Scrum Alliance world, because I believe more in them, I did others, but these were the most big marks on my career. on this coaching, and you can find, if you do Scrum Alliance Coaching's retreat, you will find loads of information in there of frameworks that we invented, stuff that if you are to start an agile transformation, what will most likely your first steps in there. So there's loads of information on the website. And this was here in London. Straight after that, I got my CTC. Finally, after 2 years and a half of work, I got my CTC. CTC is not, I think, is someone acknowledges you for the professional you are. It was not the stamp itself, it was the journey to get there, what I learned, the people I met that completely make the difference on what I am today and what I was, where the person I was in 2012. So all these people, and especially on this last 2 years and a half, I did learn plenty. And Vienna, I was part of the UGT team, the team that actually collects and chooses the educative contents of the event. And was the first time that I attended to a train and coaches retreat, where I found someone in there that was the first person that I met in 2016 in Portugal. And the person, oh, if you want to be a guide level, are you willing to give your time and to give some of your personal life into this, because this will eat half of your life for a few years? And I said, of course I am. I didn't know, but I gave that right answer because they believe me and they helped me out through my journey. And this is me, as you see me here today in another conference in person, doing leadership coaching exercise, helping practice some of the exercises I did before. Yeah, and this is me today. So here you will see some of, and this is for me, okay? This is not a recommendation. This is what I did as me. So certifications themselves will not do the trick. There is two things. The certifications are important because it's acknowledgement of your work, acknowledgement that you are there. These ones here are journeys. So, and I like this image because it shows you what is a Scrum Master, where you start to grow and you can get to an ACSM. And then here is the last step before you can become a guide level or be someone in the community that I pretty much appreciated, because my husband thought when I received my news that I was approved CTC, my husband thought that I lost my mind because I started to jump like a small kid. Was not the stamp, was the acknowledgement that I was ready to be certified team coach and my peers would recognize that. This is the call. Call is where I learn some of the most, not learn everything, but I learned there was way more on leadership that I could investigate, learn in small pieces, and actually come to a bigger learning and better outcomes. This is IC Agile that gives for Scrum Masters and people that wants to be Agile coaches a bit of an insight. Is ATF is team facilitator. Team facilitation, what does that mean? As a Scrum Master, you run retrospectives, you help your product owner to facilitate the plannings. As you grow, you start to facilitate other meetings. As your audience and your career grows, you start to facilitate offsites. So facilitation skills are utmost important. makes your meetings less boring, and makes your meetings more effective. The ACC is Agile Coaching certification from doesn't make you an Agile coach, but gives you a very good thing, makes you understand what is coaching practice and what is the difference exactly when you start to act as a coach. And yeah, this is me, my journey, and I hope sincerely that the description help you all to have a bit more of an understanding about my journey, what means the difference between professional coaching, team coaching, and I hope I met all what I promised here. Thank you. Questions? No one asked questions. Did I bore you to death?
Yeah. So we did not set this context. So the idea, the design of this was first 30 minutes Rachel shares, and now this forum will be open for question answers. Okay, that is what we are going to do. But before that, Rachel, if I have to summarize, maybe you can correct my understanding. If I have to summarize the learnings from your life's journey as a coach, rather than telling this is what coaching is, I am taking that you are focusing on three most important things to succeed as an agile coach. One, continuous learning. And I think that was your intent of showing that how much effort you put in to learning. Yes, there were certifications from A organization and B organization, but learning is something we cannot compromise. We have to learn about team dynamics. We have to learn about leadership. We have to respect them. We have to believe that people are good. And yeah, so that is the first thing. The second thing is, as a agile coach, if we have to grow, we need to have a core sense of contribution. We need to give it back to the community rather than only taking from it, right? Like I have seen you actively participating in coaching retreats, scrum gatherings, local communities. So I think that is the second thing. You have to start contributing with a genuine intention, and then you grow
If
in
you
that.
wanna, exactly, if you wanna be a guide level, and if you ever decide to become a CTC, a CC, or a CST, you need, and if you start to contribute to the community the moment you press the button, you most likely not be accepted. Because the Agile Manifesto says that we are uncovering better ways of working and helping others to do it. And if you are not helping others, you are not living up to the standards.
Yes. Great. And my last thing, which is many a times ignored, is seeking help from fellow coaches. Not come, but then as we have all learning curve. We start somewhere, and the challenges are very different, and we are clueless what to do. Should we advise them or should we wait for them to figure out? So I think for me, the third key takeaway was seek help as and when needed from your fellow community members. Is that right, Rachel?
Yes, it's very right. You cannot do this alone.
Yeah, you can.
It's impossible. I have, and I might tell you that some of my personal best friends come from this journey. We spent so many hours practicing, learning together. Uh, that is inevitable that you become friends, and it's just because what I can tell you is this change not only who I am as a professional, this actually changed me as a person too. Because when you learn coaching, you actually, the change, the rewiring happens inside of you as well. And it's not possible without strong community support.
Yes. This is a big lesson. Let us take a quick pulse. How many of you here, raise your hand if your answer is yes. How many of you here have done at least one contribution to the Agile community outside your job description or duties in the last 6 months? Raise your hand. Physical or virtual? Let's see. Yeah. So did you get my question? How many of you have done some community contribution outside of your organization? See, there are very few. That's very interesting, right? So I am hoping or assuming that most of you are a coach or have done coaching in the past or in the path to become a Scrum Master or Agile coach. So I think we must start doing that. Contributing back to the community is very, very critical because that's where the self-rewiring happens. So I will quickly recap these 3 learnings from my side. If I missed, you can add to that. And after that, I have a few questions, but I'll first have the questions from the people here. Okay. So quickly summarizing: 1, ruthless in your learning. Be ruthless, right? The moment you have free time, figure out ways where we can learn. And learning is not just certifications, but any way you can learn. I have personally learned most from people, right? So you can figure it out what is the right way to learn. Second, contribution to the community, agile community, and in general outside your job requirement. And the third thing is seek help as and when needed. You cannot do it alone. There is be vulnerable, as we call it. There is absolutely, just because we are agile coaches does not mean we are magicians or we are experts of everything. So if we have challenges, seek out for help. So that was my summary, and if I have missed anything, we can add to that. This mural will be shared, this video recording will be shared, but then it's time for questions. Please raise your hand or speak out because you are in 2 screens right now. Who has the first question today?
So I see one in the chat that says, I don't know if there is any before because the chat is getting busy. How can we contribute to the Agile community? Contributing to the Agile community, first bit you already done, you join, you here. So when I started, I joined as an attendee. And you might see some people with the faces, the screens off, but I'm sure most of the people, if you get them pinged on LinkedIn or whatever, they will answer back. And there is plenty. It's not only the gatherings that are providing really good community. The best learning probably happen in the smaller communities. I'm starting to do some work in Portuguese, my natural language. So the first thing I did, I created my own community in Portuguese because many of Portuguese people don't talk English. So the learnings were very difficult for them. If I have it, I speak Portuguese, why not share it? I learn a lot from them. We have just a simple thing as a lean coffee in the community. And people come, discuss, we actually get to meet each other. Sometimes we have events with speakers, but that is where to start. And if you ever want to get to volunteer in a gathering, they need to see that you are actually very involved in your local communities.
So in fact, if I may add, there are quite a few folks here who are in a pretty large organization. I would say 200, 500 plus easily. Even we can start community inside our companies, our organizations. Am I right? Because being part of large organizations, we end up working so much in silos as in our team only, my team, and that's it. So it's a great idea that we can take first step towards forming a community, maybe internally. A lean coffee format is also great, where you don't have to have an agenda. You can just gather all the coaches together and have a very free flow of conversations. So lean coffee. How many of you have tried lean coffee format, by the way? Any community event? Lean coffee Ajinkya has done. Yeah, that's a very powerful format where you don't have to invest too much and the ROI is very high. So that's great. Okay, so shall we move on to the next question, Rachel? I will moderate the questions if you're okay, because I have also got few questions.
Okay, and there is a question on the Miro if you want to take a look in there, and I let you manage the questions.
Okay. So this is a very question on certification. For being hired as Agile Coach, what should be the path in terms of certification? So if I need an Agile Coach job, which certification should I have?
That is very difficult.
And your response is being recorded, Rachel, so be careful.
Difficult answer is really very difficult because I get my certifications out of my needs. I needed to learn because as I was growing, I needed to learn. I need to learn more about coaching. So I took IC Agile, ACC. It's come to a time where I really need to do some real team coaching. So I took some of them. I don't even talk about. I took ORSC, organizational systemic coaching. So it's not one path fits all. To be an agile coach, you need to have an appetite for change, to change people, change behaviors. And it's not the certifications that will change you, is you need to love it. And that you will progress. And then because there are people that took the CTI approach, co-active coaching. I didn't yet. So I came from another approach. Uh, so it's not a one path fit all. I do believe there are the basics. You need to be good in agile ways of working. Care about people. Care really much about people. And then follow the learning certifications that your life asks you to. And then the community, there's someone else out there that probably if you chat, even after the talks, or usually people stay behind and we talk about our experience, how we get there. So if I tell you my path was correct, I don't know, work for me. But probably if you ask someone else and some of my fellow friends, CTCs, their journey was different from mine. So is who you are. Find your next, if you want to become a real good agile coaching, find your next challenge. Ask a fellow coach to shadow him, to learn what means to be an agile coach. And he will allow you probably to shadow him, to learn more, and then you will find what are your needs for training and what are your needs to move forward. And this is my best answer, I might tell you, because this is what I did most of the times.
So the bottom line is you must continue learning. Whichever
Always.
certification, courses, or other ways you want to learn, it's fine. I will just add, every organization has different value proposition, different way to certify, right? You have very good organizations like ICF, Scrum Alliance, Scrum.org. So different, you can always find opportunities to learn based on your needs. As I said, your needs are more important rather than just doing it. And if you are starting coaching, maybe foundational aspect of coaching is something you should start with, which I find in Indian community missing a lot. Rachel, I want to share, maybe I'm wrong here, but I've seen many people doing Scrum Mastery. Okay, in some cases, because they have been from old generation, as you said, because of their seniority, they were directly made enterprise coaches without any true agile experience. But then my observation is, when I ask them, okay, what is coaching for you? Many a times I get the answer, coaching is telling people what to do. Coaching is giving solution to the team, and that's where it all goes in the wrong direction. Coaching is still considered as somebody, as you give solution on a situation. So I think at least one basic understanding of what coaching is in true form is needed, whether you are a Scrum Master or a so-called Agile coach based on or an enterprise coach. Am I right, Rachel? Because the
Yes, you're
distinction
right.
has to be understood.
Yeah, and if you see, one of the things I put on the board was exactly the distinguish between training, coaching, and teaching. Because you can have an agile coach, you can have a coaching mindset or a consultant mindset. A consultant is not the consultant that people works in a contract, okay? That is different. Many of people do, and they are not consultants. We have a consultant mindset. I'm coming and I'm fixing your problem. That is a consultant mindset. If you are an agile coach, you will come and understand what are their pain points, what are their biggest goal, and you help them through the journey. And that is the biggest difference between this thing. I think these people that they don't know coaching because they don't know. I think if they learn coaching, they will change.
I think, sorry, I have to add something because people here are asking which way to start to become an agile coach. And I attended beneath ICP-ACC, And it was a great start because what you mentioned now, Vinit taught us in the class to identify, and helped me a lot, what's the difference of resolving the problem, of helping the team to learn how to resolve a problem, the difference of being a coach and not a mentor. So it helped a lot to understand. And now when I'm meeting new companies for interviews, I make it very clear. I'm not coming to resolve your problem. I'm coming to coach your teams to help them resolve their problems, which some of them don't like it, because in the job application is like, I want you to come in to remove impediments, you know, so they don't get the difference of you helping the team how to do that. So they get upset, some of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's often, sorry, just come in there.
Yeah.
That's obviously the big difference between the transformational style and the transactional style as well. Because when you're coming in as a transformational side of things, you are helping them to actually reach their own, you know, viewpoints. Yeah, exactly. So they're actually going to be solving it on their own. You're actually facilitating and maybe just going, have you thought of doing it this way? Have you thought of doing it that way, maybe? Or why have you done it that way? I find that asking questions as well, you know, often some of the most powerful questions is just asking why, because that actually forces people to think as well.
That's right. Yeah. Spencer, you were also raising hand. Did you have a question? I'll give first choice to people who are ready to speak out their question rather than read from the chats. Do you have a question?
Yeah. My question was, so I've gone down the Scrum Master route, but my eventual goal is to actually be an Agile coach. Would Rachel suggest that doing the Scrum Professional before actually then doing my maybe starting up the Agile coaching qualifications, or is it just more a case of being a Scrum Master initially actually helps you understand Agile more, which then actually leads you down that Agile coaching route? It's a far more progressive manner.
What I see happening in many of my students is they do, because to be a CSP at this point in time, you need to have the ACSM. And you can only get the ACSM when you get 1 year practice, right? And what happens in there? Scrum Alliance and Well put in their learning objectives, coaching, training, coaching, facilitation, and mentoring are the traits of the Scrum Master. So doing the CSP, thankfully, is starting to be recognized in the marketplace. Was not 2 years ago, now it starts to be. It gives you a validation and a journey of learning, that you are doing that for that amount of time and is proved. Learning about coaching, a good start, as someone else already mentioned, is you have, if you are the ACC from IC Agile, is a very good start. Gives you the basics, and many times we give you kind of, because even as a coach, you need to find where you are. I do enjoy do team coaching way more than I do enjoy do enterprise coaching. I do enjoy do enterprise coaching because helps me to step up my game. But is where you are, what you need to learn. So ACC is a vanilla thing, okay? Helps you to discover the basics and where can you move forward. Because it's actually, ACC doesn't count towards ICF points, but gives you even a good start in the coaching competencies if you want to actually progress towards an ICF certification, and ICF is International Coaching Federation. So the IC Agile gives you really a nice cushion in there, and this on the Agile space that is on most of us work either ways.
In fact,
yes, my girlfriend's an ICF coach, and I know when I say that, she often says to me, "You're not a real coach if you're an Agile coach," you know.
I am a real coach. I'm a PCC
Yeah, I know,
and I am
exactly.
an
Yeah.
agile coach. But come hand in hand because
Yes, definitely.
this is my belief that to be a good agile coach, you need to be a good professional coach.
Yes, no, agree completely.
I have a question, Rachel, since this transactional and transformational thing has come up. If no one has any question immediately, may I ask this question? Okay, so in the
Yes,
competence, yeah, sorry, anybody?
I said, please go ahead.
Okay, so Rachel, one question I also get a lot from people, okay, whom I am interacting. So if you go back to the ICF Agile Coaching Competency Diagram, right?
Mhm.
You have mentoring and coaching on one side, training and mentoring on one side, coaching and facilitating on the other side. Then at the bottom, you have three: transformation, business, and technical mastery. Am I right?
Yeah.
Now,
Yes, you are.
yeah, I have a different view, but I would like to hear from you. And there are quite a few people who have done ICP-ACC, and they also have this question. We believe, yeah, you're sharing that part. Yeah. So if you see the bottom, which is technical mastery, business mastery, and transformation mastery, we tend to believe that agile coaching is mostly transformation mastery. For that matter, any coaching. Now, how do you take it? What is this technical mastery and business mastery? Tend to believe that agile coach is a master of all the everything. So what are your views?
No, I'm not. I'm not a master of everything. I wish. Uh, so technical mastery on this bit here, it will refer to many people that are technical, like many times in companies we get very senior developers and they actually achieve technical mastery. What is in there for them? I'm not technical. I was in the past. I can hear the buzzwords. I can tell if someone is trying to do something fancy because I keep reading blogs and keep myself up with technology, but I'm not technical. So technical mastery is not my thing. But there is a critical need for people that understands technical very well and have a very good agile mindset. Okay? That is a real need because many times we train the business side of the thing. We train Scrum Masters, we train product owners. No one train developers. No one gives them the insights behind what is working in Agile for them. Okay. And DevOps become a thing instead of a mindset. And that is where technical mastery for me lives. When we talk at business mastery, I don't know if I'm business mastery or not, but there are many people that work more on the space of business agility. What is that? It's actually reorganize orgs, and they do a lot about this in this space about organizations, product innovation, and development. I'm not a master in that. I learn about as my needs, as how can I development, and I can help my business to grow, and I'm learning on that. There are people, they come from the product range and they are very good on tech and product development. More on the catalyst side. So I'm the person who asks why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And this is where I'm sitting more. But that doesn't make me the unique type of agile coaches, because I have some of my colleagues, they are technical agile coaches. And they're expert. We complement each other. We're not competition because they have a skill set that I don't have. When we talk about agile in practices, I think that is a given for us. If we don't know techniques, at least the starting techniques for your teams or your organizations to work, you will not give them the ability to choose the best. Okay, so I use my knowledge and my learning about organizations and learning organizations and change management that I need to learn about to help my companies to grow, my clients to grow. Okay, did I answer your question, Vinit?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, this is always a gray area, which is never a correct answer. Like as you said, there are technical agile coaches. Now, very difficult to explain because technical agile coaching is sometimes against the core principles of professional coaching also. So that's where I think things are evolving now in the industry also.
Yes, is if you look to the, it's like when you are mentoring someone, mentoring from a coaching stand, you want to understand your client needs, where you want to go, you pass them your information and they have the ability to choose. And that is mentoring from a coaching stand. So we can still learn a lot from having this coaching mindset where our mentees have the ability to choose what works best for them. Because many times I share my insights as I'm sharing here with you. Look, this was my path. This is was how I learn. Learn from it if you can, but this is not the only way to do it.
Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Who wants to ask? Please come on video and
I have a question.
yeah.
So first of all, thanks a lot, Rachel, for such a nice introduction about your agile coaching journey. What I was actually looking for is that, which is a little bit not clear, that you have taken so many certification in agile coaching. I wanted to know about one thing. What is the investment involved in taking all these certifications? So how much money you have invested? Second thing is that what were the biggest challenges or big examinations which might be a biggest hurdle to get those certifications? I heard that this PSM3 or PSM2 are very, very difficult to pass. But I wanted to know that in your journey, which were the biggest hurdles or which were the very toughest exams to get those certifications?
The toughest one to get was ICF-PCC, so International Coaching Federation Professional Coaching. Was the hardest one to get. Why? Because you need to have 125 hours of training, 10 hours of mentoring, and 500 hours of practice. And you have a 3 hours exam in the end of this. So that is a challenge. That may be the challenging one. Regarding in terms of money, I can tell you it doesn't come cheap. ORSC, maybe the ORSC is organizational or the organizational systemic coaching. Oh, I'm getting, so it's not this. Let me see if I can show you. Okay, organizational relationship systemic coaching. This one is, for me, in my career, were the far most expensive. It, for my needs, I changed. Okay, I changed my coaching style. I changed my way of working, and I found better results. But I do a lot of team coaching. Okay.
Okay.
Doesn't have an exam.
Okay.
Requires you to rewire your brain to actually think in systemic approach. It's very important, the core concepts of systemic coaching if you wanted to become a very good team coach. I can tell you in pounds, Great British pounds, the cost of ORSC itself was around 7K.
7?
Just ORSC, 7K.
7K.
So 7,000 pounds.
7,000 pounds.
That one, okay, was the most expensive one. And for me, I didn't, for myself as a person, I thought it was value the money. but is because I do love team coaching, and I think I learn a lot from it. And if I'm gonna tell you, I did my math, I would buy a brand new car, a good one. I
Anyway,
decided I decided to invest it in training, learning, and it's not only certifications. Sometimes you get really good workshops that doesn't give you any cert, and you learn the world from there. I did liberating structures as a facilitator. I took some workshops in training from the back of the room to be a better trainer. So
Yeah.
it's and sometimes you don't see the certs in there because it doesn't have a cert attached to it, but actually has the contribution towards my journey. Okay, I cannot facilitate this kind of workshops. Why? Because I miss techniques. So let's learn the techniques.
I just want to add one view here, and might be different. So it all depends whether people look at this as investment or expense. It's as simple as that, right? Like Rachel, you invest a lot. I spend a lot of time and money. I mean, I'm doing so many courses. In this year, I've done 9 courses already, despite being a trainer myself. So it just depends. For me and Rachel and many of you here, it's our life now. It's our passion for living, the purpose of living. So the weekend I am free. I'm not conducting a workshop. I would rather attend some class, even if it's no certificate. So it just depends, right? And as I said, it's based on the need, you can decide. So anyways, let's move on. Ajinkya, you are raising hand. What's your question?
Yeah, so my question, first of all, Rachel, thanks a lot for this wonderful session. So my question is more from the enterprise agile coach. I mean, you said that the leaders nowadays are from yesteryears, right? And they have a different management style. So, in your enterprise coaching experience, how much change do you see already in the mindset of leadership in terms of accepting this agile? Do they still see it as a fad, or do they really understand? And in which demography is this more prevalent?
Uh, the curve of early adopters, late adopters. Usually, they are a diverse crowd. Okay, and you have people that see and say, "Yeah, found the light." And those ones are the best ones to start because they will support you. They believe you. Okay. Uh, because we are all different as people. Okay. So when you look to a leadership team, you have 6 individuals there. Help them to work together. And many times, I think and you know that mindset sometimes is a way you work all your life, or might be uh, your mindset where you grow. So, and if you are a person that you can, and that is when coaching comes handy, because the active listen techniques, you can listen to their needs, you can listen to their thoughts, what they can express to you. And that is crucial because if they keep complaining, it's because they keep complaining about the organization means they still care about the organization. Helping them and understand with them what they want to see their organization doing is the key to open hearts and minds. So this is what my experience tells me. Sometimes it's very difficult to actually get uh, is be able to understand them because no one else better than leadership knows what they want for their organization. And sometimes they just are forgotten a bit with the BAU work. They are helping people to see a goal, and that's when we talk about the vision, organization vision, give the vision, and this new leadership come as setting the vision for the organization is helping if you have someone in there that starts to see different in the different way, will be your best ally to keep moving forward. Did the explanation help?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for that.
So we have time for one last question. Keshav, you have a question?
Yes, please.
Yes.
This question is to Rachel. Rachel, I do see that you've attended the coaching retreat workshop as well as the global Scrum gathering. So this has a significant weightage in the CTC application, if I'm correct. My question is that given that these are, they at least before the pandemic occurred, they require an in-person attendance, which works out quite expensive if you're living in India. How does this work against a person's candidature or an intention to apply? What is your experience?
I know that for CTC is mandatory to attend at least one coaching retreat. There is one good thing about Scrum Alliance. If you are willing to organize one, they let you. Okay, so that is a good thing. Shows leadership, shows involvement in the community. Okay, that is the best thing. This year happened a coaching retreat online. This year or last year? I think it was end of last year. Happened a coaching retreat online, and there will be another. And it's for free.
It costs 25 euros. That's organized by the Agile group in Vienna. But it's fine. It's almost free for you.
25 euros is free. Probably it's just to make people not subscribe if they are not to attend. At least if you pay something, you will refrain yourself from clicking the button because you need to put your credit card in there. So, but is exactly that. If you can attend at these virtual ones, please do so.
Oh, most certainly, yes. I'm attending that one, but the others are quite a bit more expensive. I can't.
If you want to, and if it's a Scrum Alliance coaching retreat, please do that. And if you ever think about organizing one in India, just reach out to Scrum Alliance.
Okay.
Because they sponsor it and they will help you. They have all the logistics and then will help you to organize it and have and then you have Scrum Alliance badge to actually attract good guest speakers and good people to be in there to animate the group.
Anyway, I think it's okay. It's a very individualistic, expensive, not expensive. It's not something we discuss in this forum. People can very well make their decisions here, what they want to do. And as I said, expense versus investment is what differentiates, right? How do you look at it? So anyway, thank you very much, everybody. I know a few people had to leave because of their scheduled calls. I want to thank you all who stayed back till the end, and that was the format we had decided. Not too much content, but more free conversation. So thank you everybody who could attend it. We would request you all contribute to the community and also participate. We have multiple other meetups also coming up, and if any one of you would like to be a speaker, reach out to me. You know who is the person to reach out to, right? Even when we did conferences, we used to give opportunity to first-time speakers. So please reach out to me in person, and we will see, how we can organize a session with you. Rachel, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much from all of us. And I'm sure all the attendees found good value out of having this conversation with you. Any last thoughts, anybody?
Thanks, Vineet.
Thank you so much.
Rachel, yeah.
Thank you, Vineet, for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys. Bye. Good night.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank
Take care,
you.
folks. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you, Raquel. Thank you. Thank you, Vineet.
Thank you.